What if the secret to a happy marriage wasn't about luck, timing, or even finding the perfect person? What if the truth is that marriage is easier than you've ever imagined if you simply do this one thing? Marriage often appears complicated. People describe it as hard work, endless compromise, or even a gamble with unpredictable outcomes. But the truth is, marriage doesn't have to be this heavy burden that so many fear. It can be lighter, simpler, and filled with ease if you shift your perspective and practice one powerful principle. This principle is not about controlling another person, changing who they are, or trying to bend life to fit your plans. Instead, it is about the inner work that transforms your experience from the inside out. The reason marriage feels difficult for so many is because they entered with expectations rooted in lack. They look for someone to fix them, to heal them, or to complete them. But no one can carry that weight, not even the person who loves you most. A strong and lasting marriage begins when you stop seeking completion outside of yourself and instead step into the power of wholeness within. You are already complete. You are already worthy of love. When you embody this, marriage shifts from struggle to natural flow. The one thing that makes marriage easier than you think is learning to assume the feeling of love, harmony, and unity as if it already exists. Most people wait for circumstances to change before they feel love. They say, when I find the right partner, I'll be happy, or when my spouse does this, I'll feel appreciated. But this conditional way of living creates endless struggle. Instead, when you begin by living in the state of already being loved, already being cherished, already being supported, you radiate a different energy. That energy naturally attracts the right partner, deepens your bond, and transforms conflicts into opportunities for connection. Think of it this way. Every relationship is a reflection of your inner world. If you dwell on fears, insecurities, or doubts, you will see them mirrored back to you in your marriage. But if you cultivate joy, gratitude, and the certainty of being loved, your marriage becomes a mirror of that inner harmony. The outer experience always follows the inner state. This is why two people can face the same challenges, yet one marriage crumbles while the other grows stronger. The difference lies in the state of mind they nurture. Many people believe marriage is about finding the right person. In reality, it is about becoming the right person. When you radiate love, patience, kindness, and self-respect, you create a magnetic field that draws in someone who resonates with those qualities. Even within an existing marriage, when you shift your inner world, the relationship naturally shifts with it. Instead of waiting for your spouse to change, you change the vibration you bring into the partnership. The result is often nothing short of miraculous. Now, some may ask, does this mean I should ignore problems or pretend everything is perfect? Absolutely not. Challenges will arise in any marriage. But when you approach them from the state of love already fulfilled, your perspective changes. Instead of seeing problems as evidence that something is wrong, you see them as temporary ripples in an ocean of connection. From that state, you respond with patience instead of anger, understanding instead of blame, and creativity instead of despair. Marriage becomes easier not because problems vanish, but because your state of mind allows you to move through them with grace. Another key is the practice of imagination. Every day you can close your eyes and step into the scene of your ideal marriage. See yourself walking hand in hand with your spouse, sharing laughter, supporting each other through life, building dreams together. Feel the love in your heart as if it's happening right now. This is not daydreaming, it is training your mind and body to live in the state of already being fulfilled. The more you practice this, the more your reality aligns with it. Imagination is not fantasy, it is the workshop of creation. When you embody the state of already being loved, everything about you changes: your energy, your words, your presence. People sense it without you having to say a word. You stop radiating desperation and instead carry the quiet confidence of someone who knows they are cherished. This is why love begins to flow toward you naturally. In a marriage, this shift often softens tensions, sparks intimacy, and creates a sense of safety that both partners deeply crave. It feels easier because you are no longer pushing against resistance, you are living in alignment with the reality you wish to experience. Gratitude is another powerful piece of the puzzle. Instead of focusing on what your partner doesn't do, shift your attention to what they do bring into your life. A thankful heart magnifies blessings, while a critical heart magnifies flaws. When you practice gratitude daily, you change the atmosphere of your marriage. A simple thank you, a small acknowledgement of effort, or a silent appreciation in your heart creates ripples that grow into waves of love. Gratitude shifts energy, and energy shapes experience. So why is marriage easier than you think if you do this one thing? Because when you begin with the inner state of already being in love, already being whole, and already being united, the external world must mirror it back. Life cannot contradict the states you persist in. If you persist in doubt, you will see doubt. If you persist in love, you will see love. This principle is universal and unbreakable. It doesn't fail, it only waits for you to practice it consistently. Imagine what your marriage could be like if you chose every day to live in righteous love was already overflowing. Conflicts would shrink, understanding would grow, joy would multiply. The impossible would suddenly feel natural. This is the truth so many overlook. Marriage doesn't have to be a battlefield. It can be the most beautiful expression of emotion sort of beauty. You do the inner work first. You are not waiting for marriage to get easier. You are not waiting for your partner to change. You hold the power right now. Assume the feeling of already being loved. Embody the state of unity. Practice gratitude. And watch as the marriage you desire unfolds effortlessly before your eyes. Marriage is easier than you think, not because life suddenly becomes perfect, but because when you live in the state of love fulfilled, you no longer fight against reality. You flow with it, and in that flow love becomes the easiest and most natural thing in the world. A marriage that thrives does not begin with the search for the perfect person. It begins with your own wholeness. When you approach love from a place of inner lack, you will always feel something is missing. But when you enter it knowing you are already complete, the relationship becomes lighter and more fulfilling. Your partner is not there to fix or complete you, but to reflect the love and joy already present within. The easier you carry yourself with confidence and inner peace, the easier the bond becomes. Wholeness is magnetic, it draws connection instead of forcing it. Marriage feels easier when both people stand whole, not broken. The secret to transforming marriage lies in assuming the feeling of love already present. Too often people wait for external signs before they allow themselves to feel cherished. But waiting keeps love at a distance. When you act, think, and feel as though you are already deeply loved, you naturally attract the energy that sustains it. This is not about pretending, it is about stepping into the reality you want until it becomes your truth. Love grows when you embody it first, not when you demand it later. Marriage becomes easier because your focus shifts from absence to presence. Every relationship you experience acts like a mirror reflecting your own inner world. If your mind is full of fear, jealousy, or resentment, those emotions will find their way into your partnership. But if you fill yourself with joy, trust, and gratitude, those qualities are reflected back to you. The outer marriage can only echo the inner state. That is why some see struggle where others see harmony. The difference is what they project within. By mastering your inner atmosphere, you transform the outer reflection. Marriage becomes easier when you consciously shape the energy you bring to it. The true path to love is not searching endlessly for the right person, but becoming the right person yourself. When you embody kindness, patience, love, and respect, you naturally attract someone who resonates with those same traits. If you seek loyalty, become loyal. If you desire deep connection, cultivate depth within yourself. The qualities you want in a spouse must first live in you, and then life brings them back multiplied. Even in an existing marriage, changing yourself shifts the entire dynamic. Marriage becomes easier because you stop demanding from others what you have not cultivated within. Challenges will always appear, but their weight depends on the state you hold within. When you carry love as your foundation, problems no longer seem like roadblocks, they are featured as opportunities for growth. You see disagreements not as evidence of incompatibility, but as chances to understand one another better. The right state of mind dissolves tension before it grows into conflict. You replace blame with compassion, impatience with patience, and fear with certainty. Marriage doesn't get easier because the world changes. It gets easier because your inner strength and love guide the way through. The practice of imagination is a tool far more powerful than most realize. Every day you can close your eyes and rehearse the scenes of your ideal marriage in your mind. You see yourself loved, supported, and united, and you feel the emotions as if they are happening right now. The subconscious accepts this vision and begins aligning reality to match it. This is not fantasy, it is creation in its purest form. The more vivid and consistent your practice, the faster it becomes tangible. Marriage becomes easier when you first live it in imagination and let life follow suit. The energy you radiate is the magnet that shapes your experience. If you project desperation, insecurity, or doubt, others instinctively pull away. But when you radiate confidence, joy, and self-love, people are drawn to you without resistance. In marriage, this principle is powerful. A heart filled with calm certainty attracts a deeper bond. Love thrives in the atmosphere you create. The vibration of your being shapes the way your partner responds to you. Marriage becomes easier because you no longer chase or cling, you simply attract by being aligned with love. Gratitude has the power to shift the entire atmosphere of a relationship. When you dwell on what is missing, flaws grow larger and love feels heavy. But when you focus on what is present, even the smallest gestures become magnified in your heart. A simple thank you, a smile of appreciation, or silent acknowledgement transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary ones. Gratitude makes love expand, while criticism makes it shrink. The more thankful you are for what already exists, the more life gives you to be thankful for. Marriage becomes easier because love flourishes in a grateful heart. Life always reflects persistence in the state you hold. If you persist in doubt, fear, or insecurity, those feelings become the atmosphere of your relationship. But if you persist in love, certainty, and gratitude, your marriage aligns with those states. It is not about occasional effort, but consistent inner commitment. Whatever you assume and embody with conviction must eventually show up in your world. The universe cannot resist the persistence of belief. Marriage becomes easier when you decide to remain rooted in love regardless of passing emotions or circumstances. The flow of love emerges when you stop fighting against reality and begin aligning with it. Marriage does not demand perfection, it demands harmony. When you live in alignment with love, you naturally move with the current, instead of struggling against it. Small conflicts stop feeling like battles and big challenges are met with calm strength. This flow creates safety, ease, and joy within the relationship. Love becomes lighter, freer, and more natural. Marriage becomes easier not because everything outside changes, but because you live in the harmony of love within.